Ever looked at a corncob pipe and thought, huh, is that thing for real?
I know what you mean. They're kind of unassuming.
Yeah, like deceptively simple. But then you hear people rave about them, especially folks new to pipe smoking. So today, we're doing a deep dive on corncob pipes, figuring out if they live up to the hype, and if maybe, just maybe, one belongs in your smoking rotation.
Makes sense. I mean, at first glance, it's just a dried out corn cob, hollowed out. You wouldn't think it'd make for a good smoke, but
But there's something about them. People swear by that light, cool draw, how easy they are to get started with. And let's be honest, the price is right.
no denying that.
So today, no fancy jargon, no getting lost in the weeds. We're breaking it all down, the good, the bad, the why would you even, of corncob pipes. By the end, you'll know if this humble pipe is a hidden gem or just hype.
Sounds good to me. Let's unravel the mystery of the corncob pipe.
So, starting simple. What exactly is a corncob pipe? I mean, we see it, we kind of get it, but
Right, it's almost too straightforward. You're basically looking at a dried corn cob, carefully hollowed out to create the bowl. Often they'll shape it a bit, maybe add a coating of plaster or resin to make it a bit tougher.
makes sense.
And the stem, usually wood or plastic. It fits into the cob, channels that smoke up to the mouthpiece. Nothing complicated, really.
But that's the thing, isn't it? That simplicity is kind of the point.
Yeah.
You just fill the bowl, light up, and puff away.
You got it. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets interesting. That corn cob itself, it's porous, full of tiny air pockets.
So not just any old cob will do.
Not exactly. This porous structure is actually key to how these pipes smoke. Think of it like a natural filter, a heat sink built right in. It traps moisture from the smoke, lets heat dissipate way better than, say, a dense briar pipe. That's a big reason why they're known for a cooler, drier smoke.
And that lightness. Seriously, I've held heavier toothpicks.
Oh, absolutely. No hand cramps here. You can clench it comfortably, too. No jaw fatigue after a long smoke.
Makes a difference. Especially if you're new to pipe smoking, right? I feel like corny cobs are almost the go-to starter pipe.
They really are. You've got that built-in moisture control, so less chance of gurgling or a mouthful of hot, wet smoke. And unlike some briar pipes that need a whole break-in ritual,
Ah, yes, the break-in. I've heard stories.
it's a process. You gotta smoke a new briar gently at first, build up that carbon cake inside to protect the wood. But with corn cobs, it's light up and enjoy, no fuss.
And hey, if you're not sure pipe smoking is your thing, or you're clumsy like me and might drop it.
The low cost is a huge relief. You're not risking a huge investment.
Which brings up a good point. There are so many pipe materials out there. Briar, meerschaum, glass.
Yeah.
Why do some people stick with corncob?
I think a lot of it comes back to what we've already touched on, that affordability is massive. But it's also the feel, super lightweight, comfortable, and they're just easygoing. No need for fancy cleaning routines, no break-in stress.
It's like the laid-back friend of the pipe world.
Exactly. And honestly, a lot of smokers swear that corn cobs let the true tobacco flavor shine through. It's a mellower, less influenced taste.
Interesting. So you're not getting that woodiness from a briar.
Not so much. Now, briars are beautiful. Those grains, the craftsmanship, they're an art form, but they do need that care, the break-in, regular maintenance.
And glass. I've seen some stunning glass pipes. Real works of art.
No doubt. Glass is modern, sleek, and super easy to clean. Plus, the smoke's typically very smooth. Having worked with glass water pipes wholesale, I saw how people love the artistry and that pure taste they offer.
But fragility is a concern, right?
It is, and they can be pricier up front.
So it feels like corn cobs are in their own lane, a balance of practicality and affordability.
Spot on. They're that sweet spot. Budget-friendly, durable enough for daily use, but without the preciousness of, say, a high-end briar, low barrier to entry for beginners, and even seasoned smokers love them for a no-fuss smoke.
Speaking of flavor, you mentioned that some people feel like corn cobs give a purer tobacco taste.
Right.
Why is that?
It's thought to be because of that lack of a strong pipe taste, so to speak. Some woods, especially as that carbon cake builds up,
Yeah, that layer of residue.
right, it can impart its own flavor to the smoke. But corn cobs are relatively neutral. Some even say they have a slight sweetness. So if you want to really taste the nuances of different tobaccos, or if you just don't want to mess with seasoning a pipe, corn cobs are appealing.
So it's less about the look, more about that straight-up smoking experience.
Exactly. Function over form, simplicity, and pure enjoyment.
Okay, let's break down those benefits a bit more. We've got affordability, the lightweight feel, and that beginner-friendly vibe. What makes them so easy to get started with?
Well, the price is a big one. You can snag a brand new corn cob for, like, the cost of a fancy coffee. So trying it out doesn't break the bank. Less stress about damaging it, too.
And that lightness
Hmm.
has got to be more than just a nice to have, right?
It's a comfort thing, for sure, especially if you're smoking for a while. A heavy pipe can get tiring. Corn cobs are easy to hold, to clench. And remember, that porous cob makes for a cooler smoke. So, less throat irritation, too.
And they're not demanding divas when it comes to upkeep.
Not at all. No need for special cloths or oils, just a pipe cleaner does the trick. Many come with replaceable stems to pop a new one on if it gets worn. It's a hassle-free way to enjoy smoking, whether you're new to it or a seasoned smoker wanting a no-brainer pipe.
So easy in, easy out, easy to care for.
Pretty much. And from a retail standpoint, they're a great gateway product. Like if you're running a smoke shop, they fit right in alongside those starter glass pipes and accessories.
But let's be real, nothing's perfect. What are the downsides?
Right, gotta acknowledge those. The main one is lifespan. Compared to a well-loved briar or a tough glass pipe, a corn cob won't last as long, especially with heavy use.
How's that?
It's the material. Dried corn husk, even treated, it breaks down faster with all that heating and cooling. So if you're a daily, multiple bowls a day smoker, expect to replace it more often.
Makes sense. And the looks. They're not exactly showstoppers.
Yeah, you're not going to impress with fancy grain patterns or intricate glasswork. They're more rustic, simple. If you want a statement piece, a corn cob might not be it.
Any functional downsides? Do they hold up okay over time?
Mostly, yeah. But they can be prone to burning or charring, especially the thinner ones, or if you puff really hard, you might get hot spots, cracks.
Anything to prevent that.
Pacing yourself helps. And checking the pipe for wear. Some have coatings, plaster, or resin, but even those can flake off with use.
So it's a bit more delicate than other materials.
In a way, yeah. And those cheaper stems, they can get flimsy compared to wood or metal ones, but for casual use, it's not usually a deal breaker.
So how long do these things last? I've heard everything from a few months to years.
It's a real range because it depends. How often you smoke, how you treat it. Gentle smokers, rotating pipes, they might get years. But heavy use, lots of heat. That stresses the cob, shortens the lifespan.
Okay, so it's not a one-size-fits-all answer.
Right. But there are things you can do to make it last. Let it cool completely after each smoke. Rotate between pipes if you have a few. Clean it regularly, that prevents mold, bad smells. And store it right dry place, no chance of getting crushed.
What about those little cracks you mentioned? Any fixes?
You can try sealing them with pipe mud, the non-toxic kind, or even a food-grade resin. But eventually, yeah, replacement time comes. It's interesting, though, in the wholesale world, people often see them as almost disposable. But dedicated fans, they baby them and get a surprising amount of time out of them.
All right, so we've covered a lot. But for our listener out there, the big question is a corncob pipe right for them?
Tough one, because it's so personal. But if you want budget-friendly, lightweight, and easy, a corn cob is a strong contender, especially if you're new to pipes' low-risk, low-learning curve.
But if you want something with more, I don't know, gravitas.
If you're looking for a showpiece, something that'll last a lifetime, then yeah, a briar, a beautiful glass pipe, those are a different category. It comes down to what matters most to you.
So our listeners use soul searching here.
Exactly. Budget matters, right. Tight budget, corn cob's great. Want to test the waters before committing? Corn cob all the way. It lets you explore different tobaccos, the whole pipe experience, without pressure. Like if you're used to bongs, dab rigs, this is a different feel, worth trying.
What if they're all about looks, durability, that collector's mindset?
Then a corn cob might not satisfy them long term. Go for a sturdy wood pipe, or check out the amazing glass blowers out there. Some truly unique pieces to be had.
Maybe even the best of both worlds.
Why not? Corn cob for everyday, easygoing smokes. Then, for special occasions, that stunning briar or glass pipe comes out. No rules here. And even if you try a corn cob and it's not your main thing, it's a chill intro to pipe smoking. For shops, too, it's about offering that range. Some folks want simple, some want high-end.
So no wrong answers, just figuring out what fits.
Exactly. Our listeners got the info now. They can choose what speaks to them.
To wrap it up, then, corncob pipes. They're that easy, affordable path into smoking. Great for starting out, but maybe not the most durable or glamorous.
Well put. But in the end, it's all about enjoyment. Find the pipe that makes you happy, whatever that may be.
And on that note, here's something to think about. Does using a simpler, even temporary pipe like a corncob change how you approach the ritual of smoking compared to using something you see as a more permanent, precious object? It's a thought-provoking question. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.